let me tell you who's using the lab. So I mentioned 500 students or so per year, and they are basically from every single department at MIT, including math, which was a bit surprising. But they come and do. Primarily it's EE and MECI, of course, but with lots of participation from the other departments as well. And the facilities are so unique that we actually open it to all of the universities, whether nearby or not. Obviously, the closer they are, the more they use it. But we have had people coming from Spain and Argentina and so forth. So there are lots of folks who want to use these facilities, and they're open through the outreach program. And then once they come in with the same safety requirements and so forth, they are treated just like MIT students. They have to submit their processes and be approved and so forth. In terms of industry, the most attractive, the industry to whom we are most attractive are startups, in that they don't have the capital to set up these huge machines and number of systems that are required for clean room operation. So they come to use our clean room, and this is done through the Fabrication Facilities Access Program called FFA, in which they basically, again, have to submit their process and pass all the safety exams and so forth. But once they're here, one of their engineers can come and be a member of MTL and run as if they were a student. They get no special privileges, but they also don't, they get no special privileges. Once the engineer is here, the project is theirs, so there's really very little IP entanglement, which is something that the startups really, really like. And we've vetted all this through the MIT legal office and so forth. So many times our own students, when they graduate, start up a company. So they come back and they're already trained, so it's great. So we like to do that, and we've been doing it more and more in the Boston area, but again, they come from very far because the facilities are fairly unique. And we'd like to expand this program, the more the merrier. As long as the machines have capacity, which they do, they actually are happier if they work all the time than if we stop them. So the more users, the better, and we have the ability to accommodate all these industrial startups, which are really cool, and help the national economy and all the good things. For the bigger companies, oftentimes they have their own facilities, so they don't need us. Although sometimes they come because they want to do something very special that they cannot do in their own pilot lines. To make a material change for them is really hard. To give it a shot with us, it's pretty straightforward. So we have lots of that kind of participation as well. And among the large companies, there's a very special group which forms the micro-industrial group, which are our sponsors. And what they do is they like to be at the cutting edge of things. They want to participate in our research and so forth. So they form the MIG consortium, Micro-Industrial Group Consortium. They help us with cash sometimes, often in fact, sometimes with machines. If they are machine makers, they give us either one generation behind tool or something they want to try. And companies that have fabs themselves, as they refresh their equipment, they give us the hand-me-downs. So that works really well. So we are never quite at the cutting edge in those tools, but that's all right, because we can make them work in different ways anyway. So lots of our equipment has come from our MIG members, and lots of our cash comes from our MIG members, which allow us to do things for the building. Normally research grants pay for the use of the machines and for the maintenance, but it's very hard to use that kind of research money for infrastructure, whereas the MIG cash contributions can be used for that. So it's a really important component, and by participating so intimately with us, they know what the programs are. They sometimes direct the programs. We have a MIG meeting once a year in which they give us feedback as to what we're doing and suggestions where they'd like us to go and so forth. So it works really, really well, and it's a highly interactive participation from them. What they really want to get is our students, of course, and by the time they finish, they're fully trained. So it's great because they go to work for them and they're ready to hit the ground running. Our best industrial partners are the ones who are fully engaged with us. So what we like is for them to tell us, they can't tell us what to do, obviously, but they can tell us what they see coming down the line so that we are ready to respond, and vice versa. We sometimes see new materials and new technologies that we'd like to try, and they're very interested in following that. Sometimes we provide directions for them to follow that are a little bit outside of their normal line of business, so that works really well. So I think what we like, the people who stay with us are gaining obviously something of value, and we really, really like the interactions with them. It keeps us honest in a way. We can't go into complete la-la land of fabrication, they bring us back down to reality. So it's a really good combination.